Hello, and welcome back to the Gloomhaven Grand Festival and Gloomhaven TV. As always, I am Price Johnson, Chief Operating Officer at Cephalofair Games, and today we are joined by Romain from Twin Sales Interactive, the party responsible for everyone's favorite Gloomhaven Digital. So, welcome to the stream today, Romain. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. What about you?
I'm doing quite well. It is a perfectly beautiful blue sky out here in California. It's 11 o'clock. Where are you located today?
In Paris, it's a bit cloudy, let's say.
A bit cloudy. Okay. Is that pretty standard for you over there, or is that
Yeah.
oh,
Pretty happy about it with the temperature and all.
fair enough? Well, I understand it's your evening over there, so thank you so much for spending it with us here on stream today. We're really excited to talk more about a really big announcement that we made at the start of this campaign, which we're gonna kind of recap for all of our fans here today, which is that Gloomhaven Digital, traditionally on PC only, is coming to consoles later this year, September 18th. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Excellent. I know everyone here internally is just beyond excited to have Gloomhaven not just on our computers at home and more accessible than trying to get our groups together, but actually on our switches on the plane to Gen Con. So we're beyond excited to make that game even more accessible now and play on the PS5 and the PlayStation. And so, yeah, let's if we can go ahead, we'll cut to the trailer that we shared at the start of this campaign, and we'll meet you on the other side.
Sure things. Let's go.
Sounds great.
12.
Well, adventurer, I've been told that you're looking for mercenary work. The life you're about to embrace is hardly a noble one, and it's definitely not easy, though it can be quite lucrative. You're hired blades now, not some band of wandering heroes on a righteous quest. Form your band of mercenaries and start bashing in skulls, killing monsters, or whatever else you're sent out to do. Just remember that you're paid to get results, not ask questions. You'll face undead creatures, merciless tribes, and terrifying beasts beyond mortal comprehension. You'll have to fight dirty if you want to survive. The enemies you'll encounter don't believe in playing nice. With success comes opportunity, but not every opportunity is worth your while. Some employers will ask you to unearth mysterious artifacts, better left alone. Others will pay a high price for help taking control of the city. Of course, not everyone's cut out for that type of work these days. I suppose the city guards can always use a hand. Hardly the fastest path to prosperity, but if protecting the weak and defenseless is your thing... Well, to each his own. Now, you can always choose to turn your back on greed, but there's one simple fact that's never going to change. You're a mercenary, hired to kill, in one way or another. At the end of the day, everyone needs to eat.
I think you're muted.
All right, there we go. All
Nice.
right, so little technical difficulties there, but we are back. Uh, oh my gosh, that trailer every time, Roman. I can't tell you how many times I've watched that in the last couple weeks. Uh, just you guys do such a great job at making our game look fantastic. Not that it isn't,
uh,
but it's just incredible every time I see that. It's Gloomhaven in a way that you just don't get to see it in the board game.
this was my favorite, so it really helps us doing our job.
So let's talk about this. We've got a preview image we could throw on the screen with the date and which consoles we're coming to. But Roman, walk us through what's this console release going to look like on the 18th? What consoles are we coming to? Where can players expect to find the game digitally in stores, etc.?
Everywhere. We are aiming to release it on PS5, PS4, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series with two also on retail and digital, and we have editions. One is the Mercenary edition that comes with the solo scenarios and the base game. Of course, it will be available on retail and on digital. And we have a digital exclusive one called the Gold edition, with packaging including Jaws of the Lion, solo scenarios, and the base game. And it's our best value for money we have. And as a bonus for pre-ordering this edition, you have 10% off. And we created 4 skins for the Jaws of the Lion characters. So to spice up a bit your game.
Very cool. And so the release date we're looking at here is September 18th. Is that internationally? Is that US as well as international release as well?
Yeah, it will be everywhere on the 18th. The hour we try to do it so it's morning for you guys, and it will be a bit late for us, but we try to have everyone on the 18th.
Well, that's incredibly exciting, and we'll have to take a look for that. I know I will be waiting first thing in line at my local GameStop or big box store, just because I've done that for so many video games. I know in my lifetime growing up, right? Midnight releases, whether it was Halo or a Call of Duty or a World of Warcraft or something like that, right? Most recently, might have done that with the Diablo. But with Jaws of the Lion having its public release in Target, I did the same thing. And honestly, it was one of the most exciting moments of my career, Romain. And I got to thank the whole team over there for making this happen, because, part of the reason that, I know I personally have gotten into board games is having grown up on video games as hardcore as I did. I know my friends and I hit this point in life where it was like, okay, well, we love playing games together, but we're not getting together to play and do LAN parties and things like that anymore like we used to do. And so we all sort of transitioned into board games as we got busier lives and, families and children and obligations and responsibilities, right?
Other stuff.
Board gaming gave us a great reason to get back together and start playing games. And so being able to focus on that as a board game publisher and put our everything into making, the best possible physical game that we can, but then have someone like Twin Sails and Saber and Flaming Fowl come to the table and help us realize that into a digital version. A video game like the ones we grew up on is just a surreal feeling. I don't think I can properly convey to our community and to our viewers today. So thank you to everyone over there for making that happen, and I can't wait. I'll be there first thing that morning with bells on. So
it's a pleasure. I started playing Gloomhaven, the board game, before starting to work at Twin Sails, so it was like something else for me too. I was working for the companies that were doing the game, and of the game I was already in my room. So yeah, it's a good thing.
So one of the questions that I have, because I know I've been getting asked this since we released on PC, right, was when is it coming to consoles? When is it coming to consoles? When is it coming to consoles? How long has the road from PC to consoles been? When did those discussions start? How long have we been pursuing this secretly behind the scenes?
It's been quite a long and bumpy road, let's say the least. We've been working with Saber for over a year now on the console. But we were already planning to do it beforehand. But we want to release on console. We have to have everything finished, so we had to pass through the early access first, and then try to work on the console. And there's a lot of itsy bitsy stuff that can be frustrating when you take Gloomhaven, a physical board game, to PC and then to console, because you only have so many buttons on a controller. So it was quite a challenge to have a clear UI and to have everything run smoothly.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that road to Gloomhaven Digital, right? Not just on consoles, but PC. What did the start of Gloomhaven Digital look like on PC for those who are unfamiliar? Because I know it's a huge board game. It's one of the biggest in our space. So it's certainly not a small video game. Where did we start in those early days for those unaware?
It was even way before my time. So it started as a we tried to convey the experience of Gloomhaven without spoiling the campaign. We wanted to read the campaign all at once, but it takes a long time to create the 17 unique characters and put it in the game. There's so many different combination of cards and everything you have to test to see that they're not interacting in a weird way. So we wanted to have a small yet replayable mode, and it started with a roguelite. So you could just play randomly generated mission. You have something equivalent in Gloomhaven, the board game, I think, the little random generator of missions. So we tried to do that, but it failed to express the story aspect of Gloomhaven. So we scrapped it and listened to our community. We created the Guildmaster mode.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a whole new campaign. It's 160 missions, so quite long. And we use everything you give us to try and create it with Flaming Fall. Heads up to Mathieu, our other brand manager on the project. We took it to the next level with our team. And we created the content to fit updates. So each update we were incorporating a bit more new mercenaries, new biomes, and it helped us really give our player something to look forward to. Both the campaign that was released for the final release of the game and these little updates that took 2 to 3 months to make each time.
Okay. Excellent. And so I know the Gloomhaven community has been fundamental to bringing the full game to the PC and obviously now to consoles. Talk to us a little bit about what working with the community from your perspective has looked like. How what areas have they provided feedback and just how critical has that relationship been?
I've been working on several games, and I must say that the Gloomhaven community is one of the most benevolent community we have. They're so keen to give us feedback in a good way. I've been working with Beatrice, our community manager, with that. She's the face of Twin Sails for the Gloomhaven community. She's been working hard on Discord, where we have the devs and the Twin Sails speaking with the community, as well on lots of different platforms. So people are giving us feedback on Steam, on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. And we try to gather everything and see where it's going. So at first, our community really pushed for the core experience for Gloomhaven. So the story, the universe, to set the mood for the whole dark theme of Gloomhaven. And then they asked a lot for multiplayer. So we moved our plan to fit this and give them the multiplayer they asked for. And we released the co-op mode during the early access.
Yeah.
They've been really supportive of us, and I think it's also a lot of thanks to the effort of Flaming Fall, where they were really involved, and we did a lot of beta testing. So people could access the builds earlier, even though it was a bit buggy at time. They helped us find some really niche bugs because there is so many interaction that a lot of the time, even with a lot of QA testing, some specific combination of cards, monster action could create something weird. So, for example, I know that at one time I had the leap attack from Brute that went off, and then he kept leaping and never stopped, and we never seen him again. So it just left the scenario leaping. So it's little moment like this here.
Yeah, I'm sure there's got to be some funny bugs that popped up along those lines. The community has been so fundamental to us even on the board game side. So I have no surprise, and it's not lost on me at all how much I'm sure they've contributed and helped refine it and finesse it into what it is now. And so thankful for that, because we're heading towards consoles now, and I know that would be the case if it weren't for a super solid community backing the game and helping, find all those little bugs that you just are impossible to find until you have that many hands and eyes and thumbsticks, joysticks, right? On a
Yes, kicking it away.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, excellent. So along the way, right? We obviously we had the open beta, the pre-order period of time where all of that active development was happening and playtesting was happening while playing with the game master mode. But eventually, the full game release did come, and that was exciting. And we saw a huge amount of attention and people flocked to the title once that campaign dropped. But then we got to start working on DLCs together, which is an exciting concept and a first for us as well. And so, I know, both Flaming Fowl and Twin Sails had come to the table and been like, what can we explore on the DLC front, right? Characters, solo scenarios, things like that. And so, yeah, we started discussing about solo scenarios, and we shared that we had this title upcoming, Jaws of the Lion, and so we started talking about what that would look like. And I just, it was such a warm and welcome, conversation to be a part of, and really felt like we had a lot of just excitement from Twin Sails end about doing more content, which was really encouraging for us. And it's still encouraging for us just how much we get to discuss and how often we kind of reach out to each other to bounce ideas off each other and explore how we make the game and the game environment better, as a whole. So, yeah, so we released the solo scenarios, which were an adaptation of the solo scenario content from the board game, which are the individual missions for each character to do individually on their own without the rest of their group. And it's a special sort of trial challenge that if you can complete with enough expertise and prowess under your belt, then you get rewarded, and that reward gets to come back with you as your character and the rest of your group. And then even bigger and more exciting for me is the Jaws of the Lion DLC, which it is a DLC, but it is honestly almost its own game in of itself, right?
Yeah.
We translated the entirety of the Jaws of the Lion small box campaign, which we had released to mass market and Target and Walmart and Barnes and Noble back in 2020. And that introduced 4 new characters, a mini campaign, and some real new fun stuff to explore there, environments and enemies and things like that. So so much I still haven't even fully completed it myself, if I'm being entirely honest. So I'm still working through it and excited for that. But yeah, it's been it seems like both have been well received. Would you say? Roman,
Yeah,
from the
especially Jaws of the Lion. Like the people were really excited about it, and it was really fun to work with this because the story is it's gritty, it's compelling, and well, we had some issues with the blood. A lot of monsters are blood related, and YouTube isn't too kind about this, so we had to find some workaround that. It was really great to work with this. We were a bit on expecting, because it was our first DLC on Gloomhaven. We weren't sure if the community will stick with us, but it was a great bang, and yeah, we had a really fun time playing it with influencers and the community. So, a great content.
Excellent. So can you give us some insights? How large would you say the Gloomhaven digital community is at this point?
Well, we announced, I think last year we reached more than 500,000 players, and still growing each year. So I cannot say specific numbers. They make me walk the plank. So
Yeah. No, I know that feeling. Yeah, no, confidently over 500,000 units sold
yeah,
at this point.
let's say that.
Yeah, looking at the last reporting that I'd seen as well. And so such an incredible feeling knowing that our player base doesn't stop at the 500,000 plus copies that we've sold. It extends beyond that into the cloud, into the digital space, right? So
it's still
super
growing.
exciting to think about how many players exist out there in the world. So well, that's very exciting, and hopefully the DLC only continue encouraging more people to jump on board. And obviously with this console release, tremendously excited to see just how much more that community continues to grow. So
yeah, we really hope to reach new people with that.
Yeah. Well, I know the first thing my team said, our events team said as soon as I shared the news about console, they said, "Great, we can play on our way to the convention now." And in the hotel room at the end of the day, and I'm like, "You're doing 8 hours of demos a day. Are you still seriously want to play Gloomhaven at night?" Okay. All right, cool, good. All right, so let's talk about then interacting, right? The community. Where's the best place if someone's looking to kind of get more engaged with Gloomhaven digital community? I know that we have a really strong community on Reddit. We have a really strong community on Board Game Geek, and our Facebook group is also tremendously huge for the board games. Where should folks be looking for community for the digital game? Where can they, possibly interact with developers or submit feedback, things like that?
Yeah. Well, our main channel is Discord. We have a Gloomhaven Discord where you can jump in, find new players, talk about your favorite characters or specific scenarios. We have ways to avoid spoilers. It's a very wholesome community that is dedicated to helping each other. We have a lot of people from the community that are working with us to be sure that everything is smooth around it. We have some developers from Saber that are there time to time. So, but mainly it's nowadays mainly the community and us on it. If you're more about a giggle and some content about Gloomhaven, you can come to Facebook or Twitter. That's where we are sharing news and memes to our community, and we are directly interacting with them.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want a good time, jump on the social media, and if you want to engage in more lengthy discussion, I encourage you to check Discord.
Okay. Yeah, the Discord group has been just a tremendously active group. I mean, even since it initially launched, and it seems like it's only grown from then since. So, well, great. Well, we'll check out those groups on social media, and yeah, if you're super into getting more involved, seeing interactions, communications from the development teams and from other players, definitely check out that Discord. So, I see a couple questions here in the chat. Maybe we can take a pause to address.
Sure.
First question was my own. Which console is everyone most excited and will be playing Gloomhaven Digital on? So if you haven't told us, tell us now in the chat. PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, or are you sticking to PC? I know myself, I'm picking it up on Switch. I also am hoping for maybe a PlayStation in the near future. So we'll see what fortune holds. Maybe I'll be playing it on both. But also enjoying it on the PC and going to be trying it on the Steam Deck here, I think, too, pretty soon. So looking forward to that. Second question we have is Gloomhaven 2nd edition planned as an upgrade to the existing digital version? That is a great question. That is not something that is currently, being discussed or explored at this time. 2nd edition is such a deviation in a lot of ways from a lot of the programming and coding and things that are sort of hard coded to what Gloomhaven digital is. So it's certainly something, that, we and Twin Sails Interactive are always in constant communication and touch about and updating them what our plans are. But at this time, the video game is intended to be separate from the board game 2nd edition. So, a great question there. Another exciting question here is Frosthaven getting a digital edition as well soon? That is a fantastic question. That'd be cool, wouldn't it, Romain?
Yeah, it would be great.
So yeah, those are great questions. Thank you, everybody. Oh, one more here. Cross-platform digital console. How's that going to work? Can I play on my PC with my buddy who's on Switch laying on the couch next door?
Yeah, we want it really that way. There was no doubt in our minds that it was to be cross-platform. We want everyone to be able to play with everyone else.
Well, that's super exciting. I know sometimes that cross-platforming doesn't always come at launch. That's sometimes like a further down the road sort of thing. So the fact that that's going to be a day one cross-platform, as I understand it,
yeah.
And what was communicated to me at least early on was that was a goal. Like we would not be releasing for console until cross-platform could be figured out. So super excited for that. Yeah, that's great and fantastic question in the chat. Thank you for bringing that up. So yeah, as we round out the conversation here, coming up on the half-hour mark, I just wanted to again just tell you, Roman, so you can share with the rest of your team and really convey to the Gloomhaven community here just how much, just how surreal this whole experience has been, seeing this video game come to life and how little involvement we've gotten to have, right? And I say that in the most positive, like supportive way possible. We have not had to take our eyes doing off of what doing what we do, right? Which is creating the best possible board games. And publishing those internationally for our fans. And so to see something like this realized without having to, keep an eye on it day by day or get involved, on a super intricate level, the team really did a great job of listening to us in the early days about what our goals were, what our visions were, and making sure that they respected, where those lines were and understood that in order for this to be the best possible title, it needed to be as true as possible to the board game. And I truly, I tout this to everyone who asks me about the board game. Is this a good idea of how the video game, is this a good idea of how the board game plays? And it truly has been what I believe is one of the truest one-for-one board game to video game adaptations that exists in the space and on the marketplace. It really is truly, I mean, it supersedes the board game in a lot of ways, just because you've got alternate game modes and it's so much more accessible in terms of setup and things like that. So again, just truly want to thank you and the team and everyone that's made that possible without requiring us to take our eyes off what we enjoy doing on a day-to-day basis. So wanted to express my appreciation there on behalf of our entire team.
That's appreciated. It's well, you gave us your trust, so it was really easy to work with that. I think the relationship between us was really great, especially when we discussed so Josore and everything. It was really great to have a real chat with you.
No, it's been a fantastic relationship, and everything from the project management to just the marketing insights and everything, back and forth between us. It's really been fantastic, and we only look forward to growing that further in the future. So speaking of the future, before we sign off here, I just wanted to ask you, Romain, is there anything else coming from Twin Sails that we should be aware of, that we should be keeping our eye out for? Any big moves, any big news, any events, anything on the horizon that we should be keeping an eye on?
Yeah. Well, next month we'll be at the Future Game Show during Gamescom. So late part of August with some information on our new upcoming games. So we have some information on News Tower, the newspaper tycoon, Bloomtown, which is a JRPG, and One Place, which is a dystopic tactical RPG with a lot of, well, a unique twist, let's say.
Excellent. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. And where's the best place to follow Twin Sails just generally for news?
I think it would be Twitter. The Twin Sails Twitter is where everything happens.
Okay. Excellent. Well, again, Romain, I just wanted to thank you for joining us today. And for those of you at home just tuning in now, in case you didn't miss it, please look for Gloomhaven Digital coming to all consoles later this year, September 18th. Available digitally, but also in a big box video game reseller near you. So, Romain, thank you for your time. I know it's evening over there, so you have a great evening. And everyone at home, thank you for tuning in to Gloomhaven TV. Stick tuned. We got lots more content coming today and the rest of the campaign. Got about a week left on the clock and lots of more exciting stuff to be able to promote and hype for you all. So have a great day, rest of your week.